Hello and welcome to Supreme Book Dealer. My name is Wes, and today we have another installment of Book Talk, and that's where we talk about something that is book related. And today I want to talk about two specific things. The first one is I just did like really quick mini book haul, so I want to show you the books that I got. And two, going forward with all of my book reviews, I'm going to be putting in a number scale. And I think that this is gonna help because I do a lot of book reviews and I tell you what I thought of the book, but I don't give like a concrete stamp. And I think that's gonna be helpful to know really what I thought of that book. So those are the two things I wanna talk about today. And first and foremost, let's jump in with our little book haul. So I finished reading the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And I wanted to kind of continue jumping into this mystery realm. So I have 3 books that I'm going to be reading next, and I'll show them to you right now. So the first book is the 3rd book in the trilogy of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Really, I love the first book. Definitely, the second book was a step down, but I still really enjoyed it. And now I'm really excited to see how this trilogy ends with our protagonist, Pip. So this is the first book of my book haul. The second book is a book by a favorite of mine, and that's Elizabeth Acevedo. And so she's written books such as The Poet X, With the Fire on High, and Clap When You Land. And The Poet X, as most of you know if you've been following me, is one of my favorite books of all time. But so she actually stepped into the world of adult fiction, and she wrote this book called Family Lore. Really looking forward to reading this. I'm a huge fan of Elizabeth Acevedo, like I said, so I really can't wait to read this. And lastly is a book that I've already started reading. It's called Someone is Always Watching by Kelly Armstrong. And so I'm up to page, I believe like 78 or 79. I'm up to chapter 9. And I really don't know what direction this book is gonna go in. So I'm really interested and really engaged. I've never read anything by Kelly Armstrong, but if any of her other books are similar to this, I will definitely be giving her another read. So really quick book haul, 3 books. That'll probably hold me up for the rest of April. And I don't know, I'll let you know what I'm reading after I finish these books. But so more importantly, I really wanna put in play a ranking system, and that's gonna help me kind of give a concrete numerical value to the books that I read. I read a lot of books, and it's just easier to just stamp them with this number after I give you my thoughts and opinions on the book. So obviously this is just my thoughts and my opinions, but so the ranking system is gonna be from 1 to 10. Although if a book is super duper trash, I will give it a 0. But so let me just run through what each number means. 0 is trash. It's can't even read it. It's so bad. 1 means that this book is terrible, and that means that it probably was so bad that I wasn't even able to finish it. Very few books that I've read actually fit on this category of books that I just could absolutely not read, whether it's too boring, whether it's just not doing for me. But 1 means that book was terrible. Slightly better than that is 2, which means that the book was bad. I got through it probably, or maybe I got close to getting through it, but it was still really bad. I didn't enjoy it at all. 3 is weak, and that's probably gonna be for the writing aspect, right? It just was not well written. It did nothing for me. Didn't enjoy it, but it was good enough to where I could actually get through it. So it's not terrible. It's just weak. All right, so 4 is below average, right? So it's just we have books that are average, and this one just didn't hit that mark. It's okay. I guess that'd be a better way to phrase it. It's okay. Like it's fine. Nothing I would ever read again, but it's decent. Number 5 is average, obviously, because we're in the middle of 1 and 10 is the number 5, so it just has to be average. This is a book that just didn't hit the mark. It was cool. Would I read it again? No. Did I enjoy reading it? Maybe. It wasn't awful, so it was just average. It was okay. 6 is above average. Before I go into anything from now, anything from this point forward, I doubt that any book that I will ever review will get anything below an average. 5 will probably be the lowest I give a book, for a few reasons, mainly because I don't think that I'm gonna review anything that's that horrible. 2, my goal is not to sit here and bash writers or to bash authors. If you've written a book, I think that just the fact that it got published highlights the fact that it is good enough to be at least average. If you have a book published, I can't fathom the idea that your book is terrible. It might not be something I like, but I doubt it's just terrible. And also, who am I to truly criticize and to like condemn these books, right? If I didn't like it, I'll say that, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this book was trash, this book was terrible, unless I really have a reason to. So I don't think that I will be reviewing books that fall below 5, although I'll never say never, because there might be something worth talking about that I'm like, I actually do think that I should have a conversation about this book. So going forward, probably not gonna get under 5, but if it does, there's definitely a reason why. So 6 is above average, right? So pretty good book, had some really high points, had some low points, but I think overall the reading journey was pretty okay. Then we have 7, which is good. I think this is where most of the books that I read fall into this category. Most books that I read are good, right? They're enjoyable. I had fun reading them. A lot of them I wouldn't read again, but they still were fun for me in the moment. 8, we have great. These are books that are pretty good. Like, they're really well written. These are books that I thoroughly enjoyed. These are books that I may go back and read again. And the reason why I didn't get another score is because it probably just has some low points. Maybe the characters weren't, I didn't connect with the characters. Maybe the story was, it kind of depends. But if something is great, that means that it deserved it. It did something really well. 9 is excellent, or as I like to call, near perfect. I often don't read books that fall into this category, but I have read books like this in the past, and this is books that I think are extraordinary. Like, these books are so good. I would read them again. It probably was hard to put down. It probably kept me glued to it. Like, if I had to pick of a recent book that I would give between like an 8 or a 9, it would be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Right? This is a book that I think I read it in 3 days. I could not put this book down. I would absolutely read it again. Because of reading this one book, I'm now completely invested in the series. So this would easily be an 8 or a 9, and it would probably be closer to a 9. And now we have 10, and this is a book that I think is perfect. This is rare. This is a book that I think has absolutely no flaws. I think the plot is good. I think the characters are strong. I think the conflict, both internal and external, are really thought-provoking. So this is something where I think it's just so it's perfect. I can't even use another word to explain what it is. I think that I've maybe read a select handful of books that I would say fall into this perfect category. Rarely would I give a book 10. I think one of the only books I could give a 10 is like The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. Something like that. That it's that good that it kind of just like hits your soul. And that's the ranking. It's gonna be from 1 to 10, although if it's absolutely trash, I will give it a 0. Once again, not many books are gonna get anything less than a 5, but some, I'm gonna sit here and be honest, I will never say never. There might be some books that I wanna talk about that are not that good, but I always try to be respectful to the artist. I always try to be respectful to the craft, as a writer also knows what it's like to be criticized. So the next book review is probably gonna be the Divergent book, and then after that is gonna be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So look out for those 2 book reviews on the way. I'm gonna put a number at the end of it for the ranking system, and you'll know exactly what I thought of those books. books. And that's all we got for today. Again, my name is Wes here with Supreme Book Dealer, and here we talk about everything book related, having conversations about literature and literacy. So if you really enjoyed this video, you can go ahead, like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can share all of the book reviews, all of the rankings that we do, and also write a comment. Tell us what you think. Is there a book that you think that I should read? Anything like that, please feel free to comment below. And you can also reach out at my email, which is supremebookdealer@gmail.com. Thank you for being with me today. Be well and keep reading. Peace.